What's up, guys? Welcome back. You already know what it is. It's 12 Rules for Life by Peterson, and today we're going into Tell the Truth, or at least Do Not Lie. Here we have this cool picture this boy and girl are looking at. Guys, how easy is it to lie? I know it's super easy. It's easy to lie because you start to understand the world, and you think, I know I thought this when I was younger, I can tell a lie and get away with stuff. When my little sister goes and tells my parents that I was being mean to her and hit her, let me just spin a lie. Easy. No big deal. I can lie at school, I can cheat. And so, you get away with a lot of lies when you're growing up, and it's easier to do when you get older. And the danger is when we get older is that we lie to ourselves. And so we have all these goals, and we've been told like this vision, maybe it's grow up, get a house, fall in love, get a dog, get some kids, live happily ever after. Maybe your parents are telling you, go to school and become a doctor. But in your heart, something's telling you that's not right. But if you go along that route and you don't tell the truth to yourself, this is not what I want, this is not what I'm all about, then you begin to go a little bit deeper into the underworld. You actually can end up in hell if you lie enough to yourself, because the little lies fester and they grow, and then what happens is your life becomes a lie. And when your life's a lie, you feel intense shame. And shame is not something that you want to live with, because eventually you find yourself not having a way out. And so this is a great chapter because it makes you think about, your life. The really cool thing here too is like you've met people just like me that think they know everything. I think it's about 25 years old that your brain sort of is concrete. Like you stop really learning as much. And in the book by Carol Dweck, it's called Mindset, where she goes over a closed mindset and an open mindset. We know people that are closed-minded, right? They've got it all figured out. They do not want to hear your opinion. They do not want to take full responsibility. Closed mindset is saying if, this doesn't work out, the world's faulty. It's not my responsibility. I can't learn new skills. I can't become greater than I am today. It's like they always find someone to blame, and I hate being around that. If you got friends like that, it's not good, man. It's not good to be around that, because then it rubs off on you. But an open mindset is, I can do this, and it's my responsibility to figure it out. It's my responsibility to get better if I want to get better. It starts by telling the truth. It says in the Bible, the devil, and I'm not saying, a devil like a guy with horns, unless you believe that, but the devil in a metaphorical sense, in a story sense, is representing lies. He's actually called the father of lies in the Bible. And in the Bible, it says to equip yourself every morning with the belt of truth. With the belt of truth. The breastplate of righteousness. The helmet of salvation. And the sword. The sword of the gospel. And, it's by equipping ourselves, having that cool toolkit of the truth at hand to realize that when we're going down the wrong path, and to realize that we don't know everything. And it's you got to have faith when you don't know everything, that maybe there is something that someone else knows, maybe there is something else that I don't know that can change my life, that I need to know in order to change my life. And as I was reading this chapter, it was really, really cool. This is going to blow your mind. Listen to this. However, researchers have recently discovered that new genes in the central nervous system turn themselves on when an organism is placed or places itself in a new situation. These genes code for new proteins. These proteins are the building blocks for new structures in the brain. This means that a lot of you is still nascent in the most physical of senses and will not be called forth by stasis. You have to say something, go somewhere, and do things to get turned on. And if not, you remain incomplete. And life is too hard for anyone incomplete. If you say no to your boss or your spouse or your mother when it needs to be said, then you transform yourself into someone who can say no when it needs to be said. If you say yes when no needs to be said, however, you transform yourself into someone who can only say yes, even when it's very clearly time to say no. If you ever wonder how perfectly ordinary, decent people could find themselves doing the terrible things the Gulag camp guards did, you now have your answer. By the time no seriously needed to be said, there was no one left capable of saying it. There are people, tyrants, your boss, your parents, that will tell you things. And maybe your boss is enforcing a rule that's sapping your motivation. Maybe you're in that career path that you absolutely hate. Maybe you thought that you need to seek retirement and go on the beach and have a ton of martinis. It's like, how long until that bullshit dream, shows its face of boredom and you regret the past 30 years that you worked at a place that you hate just to reach retirement? That you stuck in a bad relationship because you rationalized to yourself you were hiding from the truth. How many people take advantage of you because you haven't learned to say no, because the word no actually makes you dangerous. It actually cuts it, it cuts deep. It cuts to the root of the problem. If you become a yes man, which is very easy to do because, you fear rejection, you fear the outlash of other people. But if you do not learn to say no, you're going to get taken advantage of. And your life is going to slowly, again, dwindle down into a hell here on earth. So it's important to tell the truth. It's important to always seek the truth. It will set you free. He gives a story about living close to his landlord that was an absolute drunk. He would drink like a bottle of Jack every single day. And eventually, on your finances, this drains it. So the landlord would come over with like a toaster and a microwave and all these little knickknacks from around the house at around 3 o'clock in the morning to Jordan's house. He was waking him up, banging on the door. Hey, you want to buy a toaster? Hey, you want to buy a microwave? And Jordan and his wife, Tammy, are just like, oh my God, this is getting old. It's ruining our sleep. Tammy told Jordan, this guy is scaring me. He's making me uncomfortable. Can you please do something about it? But, when we're faced with that confrontation, it can be uncomfortable. He answered the door one night and he told him exactly that. He said, listen, you're making my wife uncomfortable. You're waking us up and this is not good. You need to stop this. And ever since he told him straight, flat out like that, the landlord stopped bothering him and he just left. And it just goes to show, man, with whatever we're doing, I know that it can be hard to tell the truth, but it is so important because you don't want to live a life of shame. You don't want to live a life of regret, and it will make your life clear. So I think all of us today, as we wake up in the morning, we can equip ourselves with that toolkit, that belt of truth, and go throughout the day and open our eyes to what is right. Seek truth, guys. I love you, bros. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Dive into it for yourself, and I'll see you guys on chapter 9. Peace.